I got my social media hat on there.
My name's Asher. I'm an artist and a producer and co-founder of the Silhouettes project.
I'm Jaden. I also go by the artist alias Earth Evil. I'm an artist and another co-founder of the Silhouettes project.
We met through a producer called Purple Cloud, and he was working with Jay at the time. I went to one of his shows and we just got chatting afterwards. Jaden was a youth worker at the time and I had a non-profit studio, Route 73, and so there was a lot of synergy, and we just decided to meet up and create a collaborative album together and bring all of the different networks that we had and artists, and that's what became the Silhouettes project.
Tell what's fake or really. Do it for the kiddie.
Ooh. For me, do you know, like, it was like a journey through understanding hip hop. I think I grew up off UK rap, which was a lot more based around US hip hop at the time. Through going to like the different jams in East London, like, I used to go to 8 years ago where you had all these jazz musicians playing music and people getting up and rap. It was like cyphers with live musicians, and I had never experienced anything like that before. And that just made me think about the creation of music and bringing in live instrumentation. So without even knowing it, like, it felt like a blend of hip hop and jazz that was slowly emerging from like these little jams in and around London.
When I started making music, like rap in the UK was like road rap or grime. I used to love that, but the type of music that I was making was more influenced by probably more old school US rap, which has that soul feel to it and jazz feel. Like the samples they use are jazz samples and soul samples. So when it came to making my own stuff, that's what I was primarily going to. When we started Route 73, like that was the type of music we were making, and then when we came to this space, the Total Refreshment Centre is a jazz venue, that kind of influenced the direction we were going. We had access to a rehearsal room, the jams started happening here.
It's space, isn't it? I think about the earlier days when I made music, it was like you're rapping over a YouTube beat. It sounds so simple, but like musical instruments and a space to create, you don't really have access to it. I think space has a huge amount to do with the creation process too.
It's a collaborative album series. It's a live show and it's a platform for the kind of grassroots alternative rap and R&B scene, but influenced by jazz and soul. It started with the album project that me and Jaden came together and decided to make, and that involved pulling together our 2 networks of artists that we had throughout 2019. All these different groups were creating music together. That's what became Volume 1 of the Silhouettes project.
For us, like, it started from a frustration. We're very involved in community, like politics. We had conversations about what's going on in the music industry and how difficult it is for artists to exist as individuals, especially as grassroots artists. So it's like, all right, what could we do in terms of bringing people together, and what feeling can we create from a really genuine place? So like, the albums was the creation of a collective coming together of people. There's a lot more that goes into it, which gets, I feel like it gets mirrored by what people receive on the other side as well. We always do a bit of brainstorming, so we had a list of different things that we had written down, and the Silhouettes project was one of the things that stood out for us. And it was kind of like shining a light on people that are hidden within the shadows, and creating that whole silhouetted feel to it, which is I always find quite nice, man.
I can't remember any of the other names though.
I still got the list, you know. I still got the list. Yeah. I
Send that to me. I'm interested to see. Community, collaboration, and equality.
Love, music, and soul.
Each time that it gets great.
I mean, we had like 35 different contributors to Volume 1. So the project is really like this mixture of people who are slightly further on in their careers, slightly more developed artists, raising up the next generation of people. And that exists in Volume 2 as well. That first leg up is always the hardest one, and we want to try and provide that. And I think that's what Volume 1 did for a lot of artists. It's obviously lovely to see artists go on and rise up and do their thing, and like Eni is, she's still very much a part of the community, which is more the nice thing than like her profile benefiting the project.
We want to see more of that as well. Like, I think this is like, how do you create an infrastructure so that artists can be a part of a community, go out and do their thing, but also still be embedded in a community? And I think it's like, that's why, again, why space is so important. It's like, if we didn't have this space, we wouldn't be able to do any of that. So we want to ensure that we're able to continue to be embedded in community, have a space that people can come to, but then also are developing at the same time. It's almost like an iron sharpens iron, and people really want each other to win, which is a beautiful thing.
Grown up man, get grown up papes.
Volume 2 got underway like 2 years ago. We were started making it like a long time ago, and we've been making it and working on it for the past couple of years. And it's now started to roll out, and it's coming out on February the 16th. Because of how Volume 1 had gone, everyone was bringing their A game to Volume 2. Like, the quality of the music has leveled up. The way we released it has leveled up. We're now releasing it through our own record label, Route 73. It's non-profit, like the ethos of it is very clear. We've got some artists from Volume 1 on there, but also some new ones, some new faces like Father Cads is on there. We've got Tallulah Ruby, Danny Sanchez, Koji Radical, Frankie Stu and Hardy Gunn, George.
It starts with the intention behind it of like how we want it to sound. There's always been like a little bit of a quality mark with us as well. Like, we want to, if we're going to represent the community, we want to represent the community in the best way. And we thought about their sounds, their message, and who would blend really well. Everything has been like thought through from our side, do you know what I mean? And with intention that it gives the artist the, I guess, the respect that they deserve as well, man.
Route 73 is a non-profit organisation that we launched in 2016. It's kind of become like a hub for a few different projects. So Annie works out of here, and she came to Route before she'd released music. The Silhouettes project was all recorded at Route 73 and like provided that space. I think Route really is like the hub of it that allows projects to sprout. But it's also like where we can clearly state our ethos, because it's not for profit, so any profits that we make get shared back out and put back into the organisation. So that's the kind of like ground rule of everything. The apprenticeship scheme, like I mentioned, that's when me and Jaden first met. It's what we wanted to do, but it took us a few years to get around to it because we didn't have the necessary like checks and insurance and stuff in place. So we came back to it last year and got some funding for it and set up an informal apprenticeships program called From the Ground Up. And it involves 5 young people working with 5 different mentors over the space of a year for 8 weeks each. And they each cover a different topic before moving on to the next mentor. And it's been amazing. It's been a really, really good program. Like, a couple people have already gone on to internships at Universal Records as a result of working with us, and it's just been amazing to see them like grow and develop. Like, they received £2,000 grants from us as well to work on projects, and seeing what their proposals are like and seeing them go off and start their projects has been very, very enjoyable for us.
Make big tunes, not many.
We actually had like over 100 young people like apply for it. We put it out on our social media, and like, as a team, so me and Ash and the wider team, like Maya, Pascal, a few others who are part of the program as mentors, like read through the applications based on like them articulating what they was trying to do, and seeing something in that is always a really hard thing to do with an application process. But we just tried to be as fair as possible and see the willingness from them to start something, because I think the music industry is really hard to like get a sustainable career out of, and it's like sometimes like people might have the energy for it and it's like they might not have the skills. So it's like, how do we spot that? You can create a career from the grassroots. So it's like, how do we show young people that they can do that themselves?
I think slowly but surely it's making an impact, and as it grows, it gives us the chance to talk more about the project. What's so good about this project is like artists coming together and making the music, but also then building these friendships and connections that allow them to enjoy their careers. With the Silhouettes, what you get is like a family and people that are like buying into your releases, coming to your shows, like checking in on you as friends, as colleagues, as peers.
I feel like as an artist it can be mad lonely, and to have people in and around you that you can like rely on, like that's one of the reasons why we did it, is to encourage collaboration through the album, but also the physical space and the link up. Like we don't want it to feel transactional, we want it to feel genuine and real. We work a lot with musicians that have come out of Tomorrow's Warriors, which I find is super sick, and like the thing that we've done is we work a lot with artists, but we're slowly merging and collaborating in those spaces. So like it's really sick to see other organisations and charities like Benita FM, they're like another like amazing Latin collective.
School Ground Sounds,
yeah,
they're doing some really amazing work.
Common Sounds, they also do an amazing jam, an inclusive jam in Kentish Town. So it's sick to see like our peers doing different things as well. Like you got Touch and Bass doing their thing, Steam Down doing their thing. There's this emergence bubbling up from different communities that is amazing to see. And I guess like you said, what is one of the dreams? It would be to see everyone doing things together, and like at Brick Lane Jazz Festival, it's a perfect way to do that.
Each time that it gets great, she's my seed and my best friend. Changed me in the best way. More flowers on the lamppost.
Music creates a vibration that allows everyone to come together and support each other, which is so needed. It's super important for these festivals to come together and just raise the vibration of the people as a whole.
And it's amazing that you can give us that opportunity to do that as well.
Yeah, I can see where it can go. Trust me.
For me, is a place that I've known that my great-granddad was born in, and where his parents immigrated to. So it's always had that kind of like history for me. Obviously it's been through so many different waves of nationalities, populations, changes, like it's completely different now. But yeah, for me, like Brick Lane being in like the heart of the East End and being a really like hustle and bustle place, it's just what I have it in my head. So it's quite special to go and perform there, to be honest.
Brick Lane is like a cultural hotspot. Like I'm originally from Croydon. There's not really music venues like that, or anything is closed down, and you've got all these amazing artists, but no venues that people can actually go to and share their music. The first time I ever came to venues or did a headline show that I met Ash at was at Brick Lane. So it's like, this is a space that has like supported so many artists. Like any artist that's coming from London or outside of London, they've done shows in Brick Lane and Shoreditch. So for me, it's like a pivotal space, especially venues-wise, for the music industry as a whole, for up-and-coming artists and also like established artists. So I think it's super important to the music industry, and like I'm sure everyone's got a memory of Brick Lane.
Continuing to support the movement of the Silhouettes Project and Route 73, and coming to see our shows and supporting the artists that are on the project, and like taking an interest in the ethos that we have to share and the story behind it all. That's the best way that you can support us for now. Cop a ticket to Brick Lane Jazz Festival, come and see us at Coco, pre-order the album which comes out in February.
We're going to be doing more and more events, so like we want to just encourage people to come out, step out and support what's going on, and the artists that are involved as well, man. So yeah.
Do it for the kiddie. If it's not me, then who's gonna do it for the city?